Hello guys, I'm Jay, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Blackthorn Key by Kevin Sands. I received this book from Simon & Schuster in a Goodreads giveaway that I won, and this is a advanced reader's copy. The Blackthorn Key is set to come out on September 3rd of 2015, and I would definitely say you should keep your eye out for this one because it was just incredible and I completely recommend it. This is probably one of my favorite standalones of middle grade. It was really well written and just amazing idea and story. And this book just surprised me so much. The Blackthorn Key is a middle grade historical fiction adventure book. So the book takes place in London 1665, and it is about a boy named Christopher Rowie who is living in an orphanage called Cripplegate Orphanage. While he's at the orphanage, he ends up impressing some elite members of the Apothecary Guild, and they eventually set up a way so that he can become the apprentice to Master Apothecary Benedict Cumberbatch. Oh my goodness, I knew I would say Cumberbatch. Like, you don't know how many times I've had to redo this because I keep saying Benedict Cumberbatch. Sorry, it's Benedict Blackthorn, rather. And Benedict Blackthorn is a Master Apothecary. So while Christopher is in Master Blackthorn's care, he is trained in all the secret ways of the apothecaries, and he learns all these recipes and, you know, potions and remedies to make things that heal, and then also poisons as well. And he also needs to learn the crucial elements into making medicine, because if he mixes one thing a little bit too much, it might create a deadly poison. So Master Blackthorn teaches him all these things. And also, Master Blackthorn is a little bit sneaky. He uses codes in all of his recipes because there's a little bit of competition going on between the apothecary guilds, and other apothecaries are stealing recipes. So Master Benedict makes most of his recipes in code. So what I find really neat in this book is that they actually give you the formula for the code, so you can actually go in and figure out the recipe or the answer to a clue before reading on and seeing how Christopher figures it out. And for me, I found it a lot more fun to figure it out myself before I read on, and you know, it just kind of adds some interactive qualities to the book that I found pretty cool. So although there is some competition between the apothecaries, that's not the big problem. The big problem is that there is murder going on. There's a lot of apothecary members turning up dead, and there's whispers of a cult throughout the streets. The cult of the Archangel. And this cult is going around killing apothecary members. Of course, this is a danger to Christopher and his master because they are both apothecaries. There's people dropping dead around them, so they're kinda in the line of fire. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but Christopher goes on this journey discovering why this cult is, you know, attacking the apothecaries. And there's a lot of conspiracies and puzzles and codes and secret alchemists and potions and remedies and poisons, and it's just really good. The Blackthorn Key seems to have consistent writing. He writes in first person, which sometimes I find is a bad thing because sometimes first person can seem a bit amateur to me if it isn't done right. Kevin Sands throws in quite a bit of humor, which just added a lot to the book. Although I did find that closer to the end of the book, there wasn't as much humor, but that's kind of understandable because there was some serious things going on by the end of the book, and it would be a little bit harder to fit in humor in those parts. The characters were really well written. Christopher's best friend, Tom, reminds me somewhat of Sam Gamgee, just how he's such a loyal friend, and he just sticks by Christopher's side through the whole book. The other characters were also really interesting. One thing that I noticed is that Kevin Sands didn't mention anything about the big plague that hit London in 1665, and that just seems like a waste of an opportunity to me because that was like a big part of London's history, and his book was taking place in that year, and he easily could have added that into his book. Although there could be a sequel. I don't know. To me, it seems like it ended well, but I think there still is room where he could add another book. So I guess we'll have to see. Maybe the next book will talk about the plague that hit London. So in conclusion, I definitely recommend The Blackthorn Key, and I urge you guys to keep a lookout for it when it hits shelves because I enjoyed it a lot, and I think you guys would too. Of course, it depends on what type of books you like, but if you like middle grade, and if alchemists and the whole idea of like mixing things together to make remedies and poisons and stuff interest you at all, you will probably like this book. and also the idea with codes and puzzles and stuff. If that interests you, I recommend picking this book up when it's for sale. So I hope you guys liked this video. Feel free to comment down below or leave a like. I'd like to hear you guys' opinions and thoughts on this book if you've read it, although you probably haven't because it hasn't really come out yet. But feel free to comment. And that's about it for me, guys. I will see you in my next video.